history on the Vietnam War. When they went to the war, Americans are like, there's a lot of Americans that were against the war. So for them to come back and not be able to talk about it and to be almost frowned upon by your peers, that would have sucked.
No, it is really interesting, like the difference in perspective from the different generations of veterans. And especially like that pocket in the middle of the like post-Korea War Vietnam vets, and there's so much anger and so much animosity because they were doing what they were told to do. A lot of them were drafted. They were put into this awful situation, and they came back and they were spit on when they came back. They came back in uniform and they were spit on and harassed and called all kinds of horrible things. And like, we wouldn't even think about doing that today. Like, if you saw somebody in the airport coming back from a deployment, you know, our gut is to go to them and be like, hey, thank you for your service, you know, instead of like, oh, baby killer, and, you know, throw a can of beans or whatever at them. And, you know, a lot of them, they wouldn't wear the uniform. They wouldn't tell people what they did. Like, oh, I lost my leg in a boating accident. So just the difference in the generations is, for me, very interesting. It's very sad, definitely, what's going on with the Vietnam generation, especially. There's so many medical issues, and a lot of them just waited so long, if at all, to treat a lot of the psychiatric issues. Because being in war will mess you up. Coming back and dealing with the guilt and the shame and not having anywhere to put that is another issue. You know?
What, out of curiosity, is there a lot of like people from the Afghanistan wars and that time frame? Is there a lot coming into?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And the Vietnam era, there was a lot of physical injury, right? You know, jungle warfare, people getting shot, lots of, you know, wounds couldn't get treated, stuff like that. The guys that are coming in now, there's a lot of traumatic brain injury because of IEDs. Like, they're better, you know, a lot of these guys, they're protected in vehicles, right? But the vehicle gets blown up, they get tossed around, they get tossed off the front of the vehicle, whatever they're doing. So there's a lot of traumatic brain injury that's going on. And it's difficult to treat because, like, you can't just go in and like sew it up, you know? And it affects all kinds of things, and a lot of times it affects like decision-making, judgment, personality features, and that's a thing that we're seeing a lot. There's still definitely a lot of physical injury, but just so much traumatic brain injury.
On those